Joining us now, my good friend Julio Gonzalez. Julio is the founder, the chairman, and the president of ETS, Engineered Tax Services. Now, here's what we did. I love Engineered Tax Services because it is tax literacy for MAGA. I love that because we don't have tax literacy. We don't get any of the, we don't get anything. We don't get any of the grants. We don't take advantage of all the 2 million tax code pages. Now, Julio doesn't want to get in between you and your accountant. He honors that relationship. He doesn't want to get between you and who's ever doing your taxes. Could be your brother-in-law, whatever. Doesn't want to do that. Maybe you do them yourself. Any of those people, I know what they've not done. They've not read 2 million pages of the tax code like Julio's team has. These guys are brilliant. They read all this stuff. This is the business they're in. And they're only going to charge you a percentage of what they save. So they go through your taxes. They say, well, you can do this, do that, do this. They send back your recommendations. And then they get 5 to 10% of whatever money you've saved. This is the biggest no-brainer in the history of man. Now, Julio's book here, which I'm going to give to you for free, Why Billionaires Love the Tax Code. They love the tax code because, well, it's 2 million pages and nobody else can read it but them and their high-priced lawyers running around in their $15,000 Armani suits, right? Now, you can get this book. I did read this 2 times, so did Ann. Why Billionaires Love the Tax Code. You get it free. All you got to do is text the letters ETS, Engineered Tax Services, to the number 26786, ETX to 26786. So what Ann and I did, obviously we haven't done our 25 taxes yet. That'll come in January. But we took our 24 taxes and we sent all of them to Julio's company. So they're in the process of reviewing those in detail. And then they're going to come back to us and say, here's what we recommend you could have saved in 24. And if you refile them, this is what your refund is going to be if they find something. Plus, we're a business owner and owns the company, female owned. You might get, there might be grant eligibility there. We don't know. I can't figure that out. I'm on the air 4 hours a day. We run a company. Like, who's got time for that? Read 2 million pages. I can just about read 2 pages. Somebody gives me something over a 1-pager. It's like, what? Condense it. Cliff notes, baby. Got to go. That's what we do now. Joining me now, my good friend Julio Gonzalez. Julio, thanks for being with us today.
Hey, how are you doing?
Never better. How's your father?
Oh, father's doing stable. Gosh, it's all about family, right? And faith and family. And just, I'm just so happy that I can be with him as he's going through some of his health concerns. But I'm glad you asked. And we're working hard to get him healthy.
That's good, Julio. That's good. I mean, I know you're a big family guy, so my best to your father. And, so many people that I run into now hear you on my show, and they're like, oh, Julio, I know Julio for this long. I know him from that long. I know him from, he was an OG. He was a Trump OG. So you're definitely getting a lot of love out here.
Oh, yeah. And the love goes back, right? I mean, John, you and I have been on the road for a long time trying to help this administration, and look at the payoff. I mean, John, specifically for me, we got that big, beautiful bill done, which I got to tell you, we're already working on tax planning for a lot of our clients and their accounting firms. And this tax bill, historic in the sense that it gives so many benefits to individuals, small business owners. And the great thing about it is they're starting to see the impact of it. This is historical. This tax bill was really set up for individuals and not for the big corporations, right? It wasn't a socialist program that we were going down the road with to exclude entrepreneurs. They trying to exclude entrepreneurs under the Biden administration with regulations. Taxes were going up significantly, and we cut that. And it's nice to see finally that we're getting to the end of the year. You got 30 days to lower your tax liabilities, but now we see that companies are starting to see what this impact is, John. And, it's tough, right? Because accounting firms now are waking up today to a new tax code. We got 30 days to lower the taxes, and we're working so hard to get that literacy out there. Thank you, because you're creating all that literacy and making people aware of the opportunities for us to work with them, lower their taxes, work with them, work with their accounting firm. But there's so many great nuggets in this. But John, they just put another 100,000 more pages into the tax code. How's everyone going to get through it in 30 days, right? But that's the chore we have in front of us, right? And we can do it. John, I want to say this one thing. Most most big corporations, most billionaires pay 9% of their net income in taxes. 9%. Most small business owners, it's over 45%. So think about that. For the same $1 million that a small business owner is earning over the same Fortune 500 company, they're paying 300 to 400,000 more in taxes. Same tax code, same opportunities, different literacy, right? They have more resources. I get that. And I've been working so hard to create this literacy. But more important than anything, we had to get a good tax bill in place. Now we have that. And even better, we made that tax bill permanent. And also, John, I just met with the CEO from the IRS, right? This guy is taking out the weaponization that Biden put in that was killing our businesses. They're trying to take these small tax benefits, and the IRS was just shutting them down. They didn't do that to the big corporations. They said they were going to weaponize it to go after the big corporations. They went after the small business owners. Now, Frank, over at the IRS, CEO of the IRS, is going to get that fixed as well. So we're doing a lot of good things, John. It takes a long time, but we're working so hard to get good tax code, better regulation, and leniency from the IRS.
Well, we just want to take advantage of the tax code as it's written, like President Trump said in debate with Hillary when she said, "Oh, you don't pay enough taxes," and he's like, "What? I pay exactly the tax code that you wrote when you were in the Senate. Want me to pay higher taxes? Change the tax code." I mean, that's what
John,
and
I want to make I want to make
understood.
a I want to make a comment about that because President Trump, remember, the downtown real estate in New York was in shambles. In DC, the old post office was creating no revenue for Washington, DC. It was costing the country money. So was a lot of these properties in New York, right? No taxes. So what did Trump do? Yeah, he took some tax cuts to basically tax incentives to bring back the old post office, Trump Hotel in DC, bring back the skyline of Manhattan. He took all the risk. And with that risk, he got some tax breaks, right? But what happened? The values, these properties came back. The cities collected way more in taxes because he brought those blocks back. He brought DC back. They were collecting so much more taxes. They were getting sales tax, restaurant tax, hotel tax, property tax. That was a big investment for those communities, but who was going to take that risk? He did. And the tax code is about taking risks. You want to take risks, you want to be an entrepreneur like you and your wife, you want to be an entrepreneur, you want to be a plumber, you want to be a dentist, you're taking that risk, then the tax code is made for people that are going to take a little bit of risk, invest in real estate. And no one talks about that. No one talks about in DC how he brought that property back to life. That property created $20 million in taxes for the city in half a year. And it was costing the city much more than that when it was dead, right? And the same with DC, like in New York. No one ever talks about it. He took the risk.
Right.
He brought Mar-a-Lago back to life. That thing was in shambles in Palm Beach.
It was a dump.
You know, the property that New York said is worth $3 million, right? But anyway, John, you know, really, I mean, the tax code is about taking risks, and no one wants to, you know, talk about how Trump took the risk and brought the tax base back, brought the people back. You remember had that old post office in D.C.,
Yeah.
right?
It was
And
an
now it's the most iconic
it was an
hotel in the
empty
country.
it was an empty building, and now it's the Waldorf Astoria, right?
Yeah, just
It was
beautiful,
a
right? But
hotel
who
that
took that risk? And
Trump.
listen, he paid taxes. He paid all those taxes, payroll taxes, property taxes. There's about 40 taxes he did pay. No one talks about that either. And by the year, and by the way, some years he was paying a lot of taxes. Some years he was bringing properties back to life, and he restored some properties in Las Vegas too. No one ever talks about that. He took the
Right.
risk. He deserves all the rewards.
And look, and he took advantage of the tax code the way it's written, which is what you're trying to enable us to do That's why it's called tax literacy for MAGA. And you have no downside, folks. I mean, Ann and I just did it. Julio's company put us in touch with the right people. We uploaded all of our stuff. They're reviewing it now. Look, maybe there's no savings there. Maybe we took advantage of everything. So what, right? It is what it is. At least I'll know. That's your worst case. Best case is his company comes back and said, here's 7 recommendations. I'm just picking this out. Here's 7 recommendations. And if you refile them, you're going to save $8,000, of which we're going to give Julio's company 5 to 10% of that. Let's see. I save 8,000. I give him 800. I mean, what, like, can I sign here? I mean,
Yeah.
It's the biggest no-brainer in history. And if nothing else, you know exactly they're going to give you the recommendations. Then you have to refile it if you choose to do that. Now, for your 25 taxes, here's what we recommend. Do them the way you always do. Your accountant, Julio doesn't want to get in between you and your relationship. Do your accountant, do your sister-in-law, whatever you do them yourself. Do them, but do them a little bit early. Don't wait till April 10th. Do them January, February. Get them done. Don't file it. Then you send them to Julio's company. They'll look it over for free. And they'll say, here's 8 other potential deductions based on our analysis that you qualify for. Put these in, and you're going to pay $30,000 as an example. Now you're going to pay $20,000. You save 10, he gets 1,000. Well, like what? I mean, who wouldn't do this? And all you have to do to get started, folks, like Ann and I did, I don't promote anything we don't do and go through the exact process. You just text the letters ETS, stands for Engineered Tax Services, ETS on your phone to the number 26786. So you punch in 26786, you text ETS, you hit the button, no obligation. They'll get back to you. You go from there and send them your 24 taxes. They'll look at that. Send them 25. They'll look at that. And who knows how much money you're going to save. Now, tell us, average person that sends us in first time, what have you found?
I would say on average, we find at least 20 more percent in deductions that they weren't thinking of. And these are simple things, maybe paying the children, right? Maybe taking some home office deductions that were missed. Simple things. Maybe it wasn't writing off the car when you were going to a business trip. Maybe it was some of the expenses it caused with a dinner and things of that nature. But the ultimate thing is it takes a team, right? You have a team. We're here. We're a free resource as your team. And John, also just as important, we know the Fortune 500 companies take all the grants. And John, this last week, I helped a women-owned business find a $100,000 grant. She didn't know about that, but I said, hey, let's look for grants. So, text us too, and let's find those grants for you as well. These grants is free capital. No one applies for them.
We have a woman-owned company. My wife owns the company. I can't wait to see what her grant is.
Yeah, I can't wait either. I mean, this is, we're just trying to help, whether it's free capital, and free capital is taking advantage of the tax code because we're going to lower the taxes. So you keep that capital.
That's right. Especially if you have a small business, there's so many, and especially now with the new tax code that passed with the one big beautiful bill, and then all the kinds of different deductions that you're able to take. But even if you're just a simple filer, right, with a W-4, send it to Julio. You have nothing to lose, folks. Nothing to lose. Plus, you get his free book. Billionaires loves the tax code. It's all right here. You get all this for free by a simple click. ETS, text it, 26786, ETS 26786. Now, Julio, let me ask you something. Have I explained this the right way? Did I explain it well?
Perfectly.
I like that.
As always.
Yeah, because I don't promote anything that we don't do. That's why I always say, the way you promote things, it's so real because I either do it or I'm utilizing it.
Yeah.
So I'm reading something, right? So we've been through this process. We know what we have to do. By the way, the people in this company are just darling. You have hired the best people. They are all so nice. Fran and Schneider, and of course, you're the former boxer that got the
Yeah,
part.
Duke.
He
Yeah, Duke.
he told his story, and he said, Julio, the first guy that gave me a chance, and I started at the bottom, and I'm doing the bottom grunt work, and now I'm like VP, and he was so proud of that, and I want to thank you for giving him that opportunity.
Yeah, and it started with President Trump giving him a pardon. And so again, you know, President Trump saw something in him, and so did we. And we're all about redemption, right? And he earned that redemption, and he is shining now like a superstar.
Yeah, he's a good guy, but you can tell, and I always say this on air. You can always tell about the soul of a company by the people you engage on the front lines. Do they answer the phone? Do they talk to you? Are they nice? Are they competent? Do they care? It's the people, like when somebody calls in my show or you log in, right? If you don't know me, you don't know Ann, only connection that you have is Tyler. That's it. That's your connection. And if Tyler's really nice to you and helps you through things, that's the image of the company. That's the first impression that you get from the company is the frontline people. And you can never change your first impression. That's why that's so critical.
Appreciate that.
So you got the right people. All right, we got to go. My best to you and your father. We're going to talk soon.
Okay.
We got some interesting things going on here that I can't share with you, but I will soon, the next couple of days. But when I call you up, good luck to your father. Again, folks, you have nothing to lose. Text ETS, Engineered Tax Services, just the letters ETS to the number 26786. So just put in your phone like you're going to dial somebody out, 26786, message ETS, hit send, you're good to go. You're going to get his free book, plus information, send them your taxes, see where it goes. Nothing to lose, everything to gain. Tax literacy for MAGA. Julio, thank you.
Thank you, guys. Take care.
Great company. We're going to be right back. The Georgia Gang is next. The Peach Crew. What did I call them? The Georgia Gang? No, the Peach Crew is next. Stay with us.